All right, here is the 4-1 essential question, which is, what patterns can help you multiply decimal by powers of 10? So they have set up 3 different things for us to look at and notice in order to help us understand this concept. And the question is, or the statement here, you can use place value and what you know about whole numbers to multiply decimals by powers of 10. What patterns do you notice? So we're going to go back to topic 3. If I take 363 times 1, I can put it in my place value chart. 3, 6, 3. If I multiply it by 10 to the first power, I put a 0 in, and that's what I was saying on the solvent chart. It bumps everything to the left, okay, or it shifts everything over. If you multiply by 10 to the power of 2, you put in 2 zeros, and it shifts everything over. All right? We already know what happens when a whole number is multiplied by powers of 10. You just add zeros. So here in part B, in a place value chart, the same pattern appears when a decimal is multiplied by powers of 10. So if you use a place value chart, which I mentioned on the previous page, but I didn't do, you could technically still add your zeros. So anything times 1 stays the same. Anything times 10 to the power of 1, you just put a 0 in and it bumps everything over. So in the ones place was the 3, but then everything bumped over, now it's the 6, everything bumped over, now it's the 3, everything bumped over, now it's a 0. So a digit in one place is worth 10 times more when moved to the place to its left. Every time a number is multiplied by 10, the digits of the number shift to the left. So your digits are actually moving to the left, but in part C, there's actually an easier way to do it. Instead of shifting the numbers to the left, you can hold the numbers still and another pattern will appear. If you do the numbers stay the same, I could use a different pattern right here. It looks like the decimal point moves to the right each time. And I know rights and lefts are all over this lesson and it gets a little confusing. But this one does not move. In this one, I move it 1 time over and it becomes 36 3/10. And this one, I move it over twice and it becomes 363. Here's where it gets a little weird. This one's going to move over 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and there's going to be what I call sometimes an empty nest. So it's going to end up being 363 with nothing, and our decimal point's over here. So this is when I do have to annex a 0. So if I ever told you not to annex a 0 in multiplying decimals, I apologize. I guess I wasn't right, because you do have to annex a 0 when multiplying by powers of 10, just not when you're lining them up to actually multiply. Okay, so I want you to convince me, I want you to tell me that you understand this skill by filling in the chart. Okay, it does say complete the chart, and then it says what patterns can you use to place the decimal point. So here's what I want to see on your convince me. Number 1, you can, for the first time, take a picture of this box. And then I want you to reply to your photo on the Convince Me, on the discussion in Schoology with the explanation. What patterns can you use to place the decimal point? Reply with explanation of this question. Alrighty, I can't wait to see your responses. Good luck, and then move on to the guided. If you need help with the guided, you can come see me, or I am going to record a video for this. But your goal is to be able to do all of these independently so that you are ready to move on to the collab with confidence.